I did want to chime in. I know you guys was wanting to know about as far as the government giving money to churches. Not getting deep into what I do, but I do work on the unemployment side. So, yes, my days now are long, very long when it comes to work. I tell Senica all the time. They are, and it's, I'll say this, it's up to the states to decide as far as churches. There are some stipulations that the federal government is leaving up to the states to decide as far as how to handle those, because churches are different. They're considered nonprofit. So typically churches and people who file unemployment benefits that work for churches, typically since the churches don't have to report wages to us quarterly, typically those individuals, it's almost like as they come, that's typically how churches or nonprofit organizations have to pay those unemployment taxes. They are trying to make some changes to churches because they do realize that there are some people in the churches that hold positions and who are typically suffering from the coronavirus and not being able to hold their job duties. The federal government hasn't come straight out to tell us how to handle these individuals because they are considered a special case, just like the small businesses and just like our contract workers. The state, the federal government does want to give relief to these individuals, but we are still waiting on information on how to release these benefits or how to allow these people to file for unemployment benefits.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's coming. So there is a possibility.
Okay, because I heard something like that. So thank you for clarifying it for me. Thank you.
Yep, it's definitely it is. It's around the clock because they're bending a lot of rules that we don't typically see for unemployment benefits right now. Just the amount of money that they're allowing people and how long they're allowing people to file. So a lot of this is new, and it's also new to us, and it's new to a lot of states because our systems are not set up for the mass amount of people that we have filing for unemployment benefits. And as I was telling Senica, it's more scary than anything to see how many people are either losing work altogether or don't know if they're going to return back to work, and then even if their employer is going to open their business back up after all of this is gone. So only thing I can tell people is to do right by this money because you may not, and the job market is going to be very tough. Typically, unemployment benefits are 26 weeks. They have extended it where individuals are eligible for 39 weeks of benefits. That's going to cut the majority of people off right around the holidays, right around the time of Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's going to be very tough. They have passed where they are going to allow people an additional $600 a week on top of whatever they're eligible for in unemployment benefits. That will only last until July 31st. That will not be the full 39 weeks. That people are 36 weeks that people will be eligible for unemployment benefits. It is going retroactive to March 29th, and that will end on July 31st. But during that time period, if you are eligible for unemployment benefits, you will be eligible for an additional $600 on top of your weekly benefit amount. They will.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I guess, so you saying it's going to end around the holidays, but I guess you ain't, honey, I guess you ain't gonna be able to get a little man his little Jordans or whatever, and you're gonna have, like you said, you're gonna have to do right by that month. Now,
one of the biggest things that we, that I discuss, and I mean, I can't tell people. I can only advise people on what to do, on how to do it. But just seeing it from the front end of what I do. I mean, the best thing I would tell people is just do right by it. When you're in a position and you don't know when your job's going to open up, if your job, because as I was talking to Seneca about this. Even when employers start opening their businesses back up, it's still going to be very tough for them to get back to where they were, to recover the expenses and the loss in which they have lost within their business. So you may not even be going back to work full time. You may only be going back to work part time. I just hope and pray that people use this money and use it wisely. Don't go out to the malls and spend it on reckless stuff. Put the money up, put it in an account, put it somewhere where you can hold on to it. Because I'm telling you, they saying now that, we won't have to pay back these stimulus checks. This is a prime time. It's an election year, and we know the government can say one thing tomorrow and it'll change next week.
Yeah.
Telling us now we don't have to pay it. You don't know how it's going to change next year once they realize the impact that this has made on this economy. I will not be surprised if there's not some kind of way in which we're going to have to pay this back. The biggest thing is inflation, and things are about to go up. The cost of food, the cost of everything is about to go up. The government is pouring all this money in, and those who are working are going to feel it the most. The number of people that have filed for food stamps has almost tripled here within the last couple months, along with the number of people who have filed for unemployment benefits. We are working hard behind the lines to get people the help they need, but I'm just telling people, please do right by it, because we don't know how long this will. And we get a lot of things from the federal government. We just doing what they're telling us to do, but some of these answers we don't know. It's like a day by day, week by week thing.
And just think about people that live in paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
Just don't have anything. You know what I'm saying?